Hello and welcome to another fun-filled nonsense retrospective. I'm your host as always, Rick, and joining me equally as always is Devon.
Hello.
Yeah! Today we're going to be doing something a little bit quicker, a little bit shorter, and a little bit more, well, hopefully it's a fun one. We're doing a top 5 list of Dragon Ball characters. But before we get too far into that, we'll go with the good old time-honored tradition of the nonsense asinine hypotheticals. What have you got for me today?
You're not allowed any transformative effects, and I'm including the Kaioken in that. What one Dragon Ball Z move do you use in real life, or would you like to gain in real life?
Ooh, without transformations.
And only you will have this power, no one else gets it.
Only I will have the power, no one else gets it. Well, that means I don't want healing, because that lets other people be the healer, because otherwise I'd take like Dende's healing, because he's like really OP with that. In the spirit of it being attacks, I'd probably go with Vegeta's final shine, because it just looks so cool. He like makes a little tiny like final flash on each of his fingers, and then like combines them into just like ridiculously super overpowered Omega Cannon Super Blast Beam.
Ah, yes, you wish to destroy the world.
Not the world, just my enemies.
Yes, but
most of which live on the world.
That kind of level of move will destroy the world with it.
Oh yes, like the regular final flash made a massive fucking gorge. Like it showed it going off into the universe. Another planet somewhere at some time, at some point in the future, is going to get blown up by that.
I'm just thinking like it's literally the line from like nearly the final charge in Mass Effect 3, where it's like I can't remember the exact wording, but it's like make sure you lock on your target, because if you miss, this will hit something at some point. We just don't know where or when, because it's going to keep going, and that makes Isaac Goddamn Newton the most terrifying man in existence.
Yep. Yeah, we do not eyeball something at 94% the speed of light. Yeah, this thing is meant to, because of shields, it's gonna fuck something up at the power that is meant to overcome shields, which is just going to take out a planet.
Oh yes.
But yes. So, I'm going with the final shine. What Dragon Ball move or technique are you picking?
Well, mine is a lot more subtle, because I like subtlety, and it's absolutely devastating to normal humans. It quickly gets eclipsed as soon as Z becomes a thing, but it's cool and it's powerful, and it would be mine alone. I'm talking about the Wolfang Fist.
Yeah, I like that one. Man, I remember the first time I ever played Pathfinder 2, I pretty much made Yamcha.
Oh, you died every round.
Well, other than that, he was a rogue, which is what Yamcha is at the beginning.
Yeah, he's a bandit. I think people forget that.
Yeah, he's a bandit with the wolf style of monk. So he was going around being a wolf fang fist and doing sneak attacks after he knocked people down. Great.
Oh, just slightly changing the subject. There's a character in Ippo who's Russian, and he's got a wolf-based signature punch. And what this punch is it's an uppercut, and when he does the uppercut at the same time, he hooks with his other hand. Now, the way an uppercut works, even in universe, is it knocks you on the chin and it knocks your head back, and then this hook then whacks you in the back of the head, right? And I'm just watching that, and I'm going, you can't do that in boxing.
Yeah, that's murder.
You're not allowed to do that.
Like, uppercuts are bad enough. Like, those actually will break your neck and kill you.
Well, yeah, but they don't. Usually people see them coming, and that's why it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Like, if you get hit by an uppercut, you're usually not getting it full force.
Yeah.
Because you're usually, you see it coming. Either you're halfway deflecting it, or you're moving with the punch. So, yeah, it still fucking hurts. But it's why it's such a good knockout punch, because it usually comes so sudden and quick. It's not necessarily the most powerful punch, but if it hits you in the right place, you're going down.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Wolfang Fist is insanely OP if all you're dealing with is regular people, and it's subtle enough that I can just be living my life, and I know that I don't have to really care about any problems that arrive. Not that any problems ever do arrive, but you get my meaning, yeah?
Yeah, it's probably strong enough to win a most normal fights as well.
What do you mean?
Like if you actually went to go to be a professional fighter, then you probably could just be a pro wrestler with a Wolfang Fist.
Well, anyone could be a pro wrestler, Rick.
Okay.
If you mean an amateur wrestler where you actually use wrestling maneuvers, hey, guess what? You can't throw punches in those. That's
fair enough.
Entirely a grapple-based combat. But yeah, Wolfang Fist seems like a good one. It's a good, like, you know that if someone tries to mug you, they're fucked.
Yeah. Like there's a big confidence boost that comes from that in general. I think that's why a lot of people just have little guns. Like if you if you carry a little gun, you know that someone that tries to fuck you up has bitten off more than they can chew.
Well, it's one of those where, like, Bill Burr's got an entire joke about, like, you got all these people who are like, you need to have a 45 in the home. And it's like, no, all you need is a 22. And it's like, have you fired a 45? They're fucking loud. A 22 is not that loud, and if you shoot someone with a 22, they're going to go, fuck this. But yeah, anyway, I don't agree with guns, because of course I don't. But if I lived in America, I'd have a gun.
Yeah. You're once you're in an ecosystem with the nukes, you can't put the nukes back in the bottle. You need the nukes.
I mean, for real, I don't think I'd be a gun nut or gun obsessed, but I'd have one. But anyway, this is not the podcast for that. Rick, do you have a hypo for me?
My one for you is a little bit more like meta to Dragon Ball in general. What would you have liked to have seen that would have kept you interested?
I don't think they could have done anything that would have kept me interested. Like, that's the cynic in me. Because I fell off during the Boo saga, for anyone who's not familiar. Like, Rick knows this. I watched watched everything. I watched everything Cartoon Network let me watch up until the end of the Cell saga. And then the Boo saga started. And they just... Vegeta literally just got the M on his forehead. And then I was like, I'm bored.
Yep, fair enough.
Like, so I can pinpoint the moment that made me go, I don't really care anymore. And it was Vegeta getting the M, which I can't even remember why he got the M, but it was one of those fake outs as well where everyone's like, oh, Vegeta's betrayed us for the 700th time, and it's like, bitch, no, I just want to get more strong.
Yeah, he wants to get more strong and he wants to fight Goku.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if Majin Buu hatches from this, he wants to fight Goku at Goku's strongest and Vegeta's strongest.
Yeah, like the only other... Gone.
Yeah, and Goku betrays this because he had Super Saiyan 3 in his back pocket that he just didn't bring out against Vegeta because he was disrespecting him.
Like the only other two moments I remember from the Buu saga are that one weird scene where Majin Buu gives that kid his eyesight back to show off that Majin Buu is not a malevolent spirit, he's just dumb. And the other bit was Android 18 and Hercule having a discussion mid-fight when Android 18 is just like, really? That's your strongest punch? You're so lucky I'm throwing this match.
Yep.
But yeah, obviously, I'm going to assume... I don't even know when you stopped watching Dragon Ball. Like, I assume you didn't start watching Super.
I didn't start watching Super, but I picked it up at a point and then kept with it.
That's fair. Like, I've not watched anything from Super, but I've watched the Broly movie.
Yeah, the Broly movie was fun. Like, I picked Super up during the Zamasu arc. So when things were starting to get quote-unquote good again after they basically just rehashed the two movies, and then I stuck with it because that was like, okay, things are new, things are actually interesting. Let's see what happens. And some of it was stupid.
I mean, I think the most interesting thing Super has done, and I can only glean this information from the Broly movie because it's all I've seen from Super, is that, oh my god, they've just made Frieza into Team 4 Stars Frieza.
Pretty much. It's great.
It's really funny.
Yeah. They've done that by like toning down his evil. They've brought him essentially into the main cast now, but not really. He's made it very clear that he's not going to stop being evil. It's just that he's stopped trying to kill Goku all the time.
Yeah, because even if he kills Goku, it doesn't matter because Vegeta's right there.
Yeah, Vegeta's right there. There is a Dragon Ball that can get him back eventually. So it's just going to be like a never-ending bullshit fest of Goku coming back to fight Frieza, and then Vegeta coming back to fight Frieza, and Frieza's eventually going to lose.
Well, it's one of those where I didn't see the Resurrection of F movie. At least I think that's the one I'm thinking of, where he got his gold form. But wasn't the whole deal of that Frieza was finally had Goku on the back foot, and then Goku busted out one of his newer forms, and it started getting even again, and then Frieza looked like he was going to win, and then it just cuts to Vegeta almost literally saying, I can do all that too.
Yeah, pretty much. And like Vegeta's like, I want to turn. So like, I think the actual way that ends is like Goku's like, oh, okay, fine, Vegeta, you can have a turn. And then Frieza's like, oh shit, I'm losing, and he blows up the planet.
That's a very Frieza thing to do.
And then Whis goes, oh, that was no fun. And then he reverses time for the people that were in the bubble, including Goku. And then Goku goes, yeah, sorry Vegeta, you're not getting your turn. I'm killing Frieza.
Yeah, it's one of Goku's biggest flaws, really.
Yeah, he doesn't want to win. He wants to fight.
Mm-hmm.
which means that he never busts out his full power.
Well, let's not get into that debate. Rick, we've got a list to do.
Yeah, sure. Well, just to reverse the hypo, the thing that I would have liked to have seen is more things that are like slice of life world building. I think my favorite arc in Dragon Ball was the Great Saiyaman arc, because it just focused on how OP characters in this world are trying to live in the world, and sometimes failing, sometimes thriving, but it just focuses on the dumb hijinks that you could get up to if you didn't have a threat all the time, you know?
I mean, sure, I didn't watch the Great Saiyaman shit, so I can't input at all.
Well, it came before Majin Buu in the...
It was so immemorable.
Yeah. So, we're doing a top 5 today. Do you have an honourable mention?
Oh, fuck no. I'm assuming you do, then.
Yeah, my honourable mention is Broly, and it's only because we basically only had him for one movie. The Broly in the classic movies was just a generic Doomsday villain that happened to be a Super Saiyan. This one is an actual compelling cutie pie character who happens to be massive. And, like, towards the end, a lot of people just had the same thought of, I don't want Broly to be a one and done thing at this point. Like, he's compelling, he's cool, and he has potential. And the writers picked up on that while they were making it and made him a surviving Saiyan.
Yeah, so Broly's in this weird place for me because obviously I never watched the original Broly shit. So it's one of those where the only time I ever saw Broly was in video games, and I didn't get it because obviously I'm playing these video games and all Broly does is scream. I'm like, why do people fucking like this character? He sucks. And then I watched the Team 4-Star Broly movie, and Vegeta's constantly saying the same thing of, he's so cool, but he's so lame. And it's like, he's not even cool though. The only thing that's remotely interesting about him is he's got a big number, which is a problem in a lot of Dragon Ball Z. What's the most interesting thing about this character? Number go big. Mm-hmm. You know? It's a bit of a shit universe in that sense. I want to point out Dragon Ball Z is a pioneer of Shounen, and I don't dislike Dragon Ball Z, but so much of it is just power levels, and it's why I hate it whenever anything has a power level scale in universe. Yeah,
I think that's why they pretty much stopped using power levels, because they realized that if number has to be bigger, then you can't have a villain that fights smarter, because you know that number big is just gonna win.
Yeah, except they got rid of it, but it's still a thing. They just don't bring it up anymore.
Yeah, like, you know that the next colour of RGB on the Super Saiyan scale is going to be better than the one before. But yes, who's going to be your number 5?
My number 5 is Yajirobe.
Muscle Man himself.
I guess, I guess they did give him a Muscle Man voice in Team 4-Star, didn't they?
It's Yajirobe.
Yeah, I like Yajirobe because he doesn't really show up, but when he does show up, he always does something important, namely throwing senzu beans at people. I still remember very weirdly and very vividly the very first important arc that made it, mattered. I'm not counting Raditz, fuck him, he's a jobber. I think a lot of people forget this because, I think there's been like a Mandela effect where people think it was Krillin who did it, but Yajirobe's the one that solved the Vegeta Great Ape problem.
Yeah, I think the actual thing was that Krillin threw a Destructo Disc, but it was like a big enough deal that Vegeta's like, nah, fuck it, I'm dodging it, and then cut to Yajirobe just sailing down with Chubby Grace and cutting off the tail.
Except we're talking about Dragon Ball Z, so everything we just described, which took about 10 seconds to describe, actually took about 10 episodes to have happen on screen.
Yeah. Yeah, because this was being animated at the same rate that it was being drawn.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, Yajirobe gets it from me. I think he's probably the most obscure character on my list because, as far as I'm aware, he doesn't really show up after, pretty much after Namek. Like, I think he shows up like once or twice during the Cell Saga, but he doesn't do anything of note.
Yeah, he's like an exaggerated version of what Tien and Yamcha end up being, in that they're a big deal when they first show up in classic Dragon Ball, where, they can keep pace with Goku and just becomes a hurdle for Goku to overcome.
Like, straight up, isn't Tien literally an assassin?
Yeah, he's like an actual villain.
Yeah.
Like, he's the number one student of the evil school of... he's the Crane Hermit, is the rival to the Turtle Hermit.
Right.
And they're both students of Master Mutaito, who's meant to be the greatest martial artist of all time.
But he's nothing compared to Jackie Chan.
Yeah. Master Mutaito lost his life sealing away King Piccolo the first time.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Man, do you think... how many people do you think have watched Dragon Ball Z and just have no idea what the fuck happened in Dragon Ball? It's got to be like a majority of the audience, right?
Yeah, like all of them. Like my cousin bought a Dragon Ball magazine that was like an abridged dictionary of shit that happened in all of Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT, because GT had just ended by that point.
Oh, GT fucking sucked. That was a bad idea.
Yeah, and it was just so weird that I was looking through this and going, oh yes, this martial arts tournament with Piccolo Daimao, and this martial arts tournament with Piccolo Jr., and why don't we see any of this? And then it cuts to, okay, after this was when Raditz came.
Yeah, like, again, very early on in Dragon Ball Z, they just assumed you watched all of Dragon Ball, and that's what the tension was between Goku and Piccolo. But in reality, because Dragon Ball Z was the first thing I saw, especially in the West, being a Westerner, it was just like, I don't understand why these people have this uneasy alliance against this other alien. And it turns out there's a lot of fucking history there.
Yeah, there is. And like Gohan being Piccolo's character development was kind of cool for people that knew about it, but for people that had never seen it, it was kind of lame.
I mean, it was still an interesting story, but it didn't have quite the oomph. And don't get me wrong, I myself have not read or watched all of Dragon Ball. I know the first arc of Dragon Ball because that's as far as I got before going, this is neat and this is fun, but I'm done.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my number 5, Yajirobe, arguably the most obscure character on my list. How about you, Rick? Who's your number 5?
My number 5 is Goku himself.
But can they beat Goku, though?
Could Goku beat Goku? I think Goku can beat Goku, but otherwise, if he doesn't pull out the stops, then Goku's going to win.
Here's one. Kid Goku, OG Goku from Chapter 1 of the original Dragon Ball manga, versus Goku when he's struggling against that heart attack because he refuses to take his grape-flavored medicine.
Ooh, yeah. Probably heart attack Goku still.
Sure, buddy. But anyway, why is Goku number 5 and not higher?
Because he annoys me so much when he's not trying.
I get what you mean. Like, it's really a problem post-Namek Goku.
Yeah, and it's basically like the big thing in the Cell saga is showing how flawed Saiyans are, in that both Vegeta and Goku suffer from this. Vegeta lets Cell reach his perfect form because he wants a better fight, and Goku gives Cell the Senzu beam because he wants Gohan to have a better fight. And the people who are half Saiyans, Gohan and future Trunks, they don't understand this because they don't have quite as much berserker blood running through their heads.
That's very weird though, isn't it, when you think about it? Because Cell has this flaw as well, and he's even less of a Saiyan. Yeah.
Like, I think they point out that it's like 2/5 of Cell. Like, the anime makes it seem like he's part of every fighter that's ever been, whereas in the manga it's just like, okay, it's Piccolo, it's Frieza, it's Goku, it's Vegeta, and someone else.
I didn't even know Frieza was involved in his genetic makeup. I thought it was literally just the Z-fighters from Earth and Vegeta because he was, they saw that fight.
Yeah, apparently it was Frieza as well, and that's why he can do like the Frieza Kienzan that he does. The purple pizza that Frieza cuts himself in half with.
Yeah, no, I figured that was what it was either that or the finger fin.
Yeah, I think he also can do that.
Well, yeah, but that's just doing any fucking ki blast, but with a finger because you're a cocky piece of shit.
Yeah.
I will say Goku is the source of one of my favourite images because it's so fucking funny. It's a hentai image of it's a POV shot of a guy receiving oral sex from Android 18 and Bulma, and they're really into it. But for some reason, Goku is also there, and he's just got a dumb fucking smile on his face. It's so funny.
But yeah, I don't like Goku more than any of the other characters on my list, which is why I had to put him at the bottom. How about you? Who's going to be your number 4?
My number 4 is Chi-Chi, for a simple reason and a simple reason only. She is the OG Dragon Ball Z MILF, and I'm into that.
Yeah. Chinese MILF waifu.
I mean, yeah. Like, a lot of her character early on was just angry shouting, and that's fine.
Yeah, she's so much of a better character character in OG Dragon Ball. Like, when you first meet her, she's basically an Amy Rose of...
Well, yeah, but the problem is in OG Dragon Ball, like, she's 10.
Yeah. But she could also kill a dinosaur with her mind bullets while she's running away in terror, because she doesn't realize that she's that strong.
Okay, but I don't want that version. I want the hot MILF version.
Well, I'll split the difference with you. The version that comes back and wants to claim Goku's heart by being a tournament fighter, and in that she's actually pretty good. Like, she can still jump into mid-air with her own strength. She holds her own against Goku.
Cool. I'm still not splitting the difference with you. I want the MILF version.
Yeah.
You can have the child version. That's fine. That's on you. Who's your number 4?
My number 4 is Master Roshi.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so he's basically a constant throughout almost all of Dragon Ball ever.
I'd say so.
And he has all of his facets. He has it all. He's got the comedy, which is most of the time, but also when the chips are down, he can bust out something serious when he needs to. So he's got his big muscle form when he needs to, like, show off the true power of his original Kamehameha.
I was going to say, like, let's not beat around the bush here. Some people may not realize it, because again, they didn't watch or read Dragon Ball, but Master Yoshi created the Kamehameha wave.
He did, and he's also immortal. Like, he got immortality from the Phoenix, but unfortunately he got it when he was already old, so he just looks like an old guy forever now.
Yeah, but if he cared, he could fucking find the Dragon Balls and sort that out.
Yeah.
Like, he clearly doesn't give a fuck, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's actually really, really cute when he has his little spotlight in the Tournament of Power right at the end of Super, where he's like, this might be me expending all of my life force, but I've seen you all grow, and I leave the world to you.
Yeah, except it wasn't, was it?
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
It never is. No one dies in Dragon Ball. It might as well not. Death might as well not be a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it might as well be a like friendly fire turned off kind of thing, and everyone is friends.
Like, the only people who die permanently are people who are, main villains who have no friends.
Yeah, villains who go out of their way to say, I am irredeemable, kill me.
Well, it's also, I say the fact that they don't have friends, because if they had anyone who gave a shit about them, their friend would just track down the Dragon Balls.
Yeah, case in point, Frieza.
Which is weird, because he's an arsehole.
He's an absolute arsehole. The fact that he has people that care about him enough to, like, resurrect him, like, 20 years later, yeah. But yeah, Master Roshi is he's a great character. He doesn't show up very often. He can't do too much because it takes away from the actual protagonists.
Oh, it's almost as if they did, you mean like they did with Goku and Gohan?
Yeah.
Like, Goku passes the torch to Gohan. Turns out Toriyama doesn't like Gohan, so Goku's still in charge.
Yeah, and the fans as well. The fans just want more Goku, so they, like, bring back Goku. But yeah, number 3.
Number 3 is Captain Ginyu, or Ginyu rather. This might as well be like an honorary, like, to the whole Ginyu force, because I find them charming.
Yeah, they are pretty cute. I think my favourite Ginyu member is probably Jace.
He's not Space Australia.
Not because he's like any good or anything, but because he's kind of cool looking, he's charismatic, and I feel bad making Raccoon my favourite because in the English version they make him sound like a retard.
Okay. To Jace's credit, for the longest time in Dragon Ball Xenoverse, my finishing move was Jace's finishing move, just because it was really easy to catch the opponent in them.
Yeah.
But I also accidentally had Takahata's voice on in that game, which I didn't realise until way late. And when you use a move that's from a lesser known character, so there's no iconic quip to make, this particular voice just goes, I have no idea what I'm doing!
Yeah, like half the time when you just, like, say hello to him, he just goes, yeah.
But yeah, I like Captain Ginyu. He is dumb. Obviously a massive fucking heel. But, whenever he appears in video games, when he's allowed to actually have more dialogue than just being a dick to Goku and co, he is incredibly amusing.
Yeah. Apparently in the anime version of Super, and not the movie Resurrection F, Captain Ginyu shows up again.
Weird. Well, then again, he didn't die, did he? He got turned into a frog.
Yeah, he turned himself into a frog. Yeah, the frog comes along. To be fair,
he didn't turn himself into a frog.
Okay, he turned himself. He tried to turn himself into Vegeta, and a frog got in the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that frog shows up again, not having died of old age, and he looks at one of Frieza's Bulma's henchmen, like the most powerful one, Tagoma. And he gets Tagoma to say the words change now, and then, they swap bodies, and then there's no more Tagoma. Tagoma is the frog, and Ginyu is now the number 2.
I mean, that's fine. I do like the unspoken implication as well that the body we see Captain Ginyu in is almost certainly not his original one.
Yeah, apparently he was one of Jesus' race.
Shut up.
Yeah, like, apparently he was originally one of Jesus' race, and yeah, he just, like, went around finding better bodies.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, there was also that, I don't know if this got confirmed or denied, and it's probably bullshit, but I remember there was that theory around Goku Black for a while of it being an alternate universe Captain Ginyu, where he succeeded in keeping Goku's body.
Yeah, that was like a cute little theory. Turned out to be wrong, but yeah, it was basically the same idea.
And it also, I don't care for Goku Black as a concept, but I do love the infamous clip we get of, "Oh, don't shoot, he's not black."
Yeah. Like, I have friend groups where that just gets brought up out of left field for no reason.
It's not for no reason, it's because it's funny.
Yeah. It's just as a non sequitur. No, don't shoot, he's not black.
Also, like, even if he was Goku Black, those guns won't do fuck all.
Yeah, totally.
But anyway, Captain Ginyu goes on my list because he's just a fun character, but I'm giving it to Ginyu, but it really is for the whole Ginyu Force. Like, as a unit, they're fun. They've got a weird series of powers. They're very colourful, and I know they're there to take the piss out of Sentai. I know Team 4-Star makes that joke even more apparent, but even in the OG, the posing, the fucking... they did a good job.
Yeah, so you know that's that Toku Sentai song that they sing while they show up in the abridged series? That was the closing theme during when the Ginyus were a big deal.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, well that removes all doubt.
Yeah. So they... Like, you can actually, like, listen to the song, and it's like things, I am butter, I'm the fastest in the universe.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, who's your number 3, Rick?
My number 3 is Bulma Briefs. You can't have anyone who's been in Dragon Ball as long as Goku, other than Bulma. Like, they both show up in Chapter 1.
If you want to get
for the rest of it.
If you want to get really technical, Bulma shows up before Goku.
Yeah, she does. Like, the first character that you see is Bulma, just, like, going along in her little car.
Yeah, and then she finds...
Before her car gets blown up, she has to use the bike instead, which she has in her pocket.
Well, yeah,
showing the Pokeball equivalent of Capsule Corp.
Yeah, Capsule Corp's awesome. I wish that was a real thing in real life. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. You just, like, have a house in a Pokeball in your pocket.
Yeah, for the longest time, Bulma in my mind is always associated with being slapped in the pussy.
Yeah.
It's such a funny scene. It's so fun. It shouldn't be as funny as it is. And again, anyone who says Akira Toriyama wasn't a funny fuck has clearly never touched Dragon Ball.
Yeah, and Goku going, where's your other tail? I can see you don't have that. What's that tail? But where's this tail?
Oh, girls have front bottoms.
Yeah. Why do you have 2 asses?
Dragon Ball's dumb.
Yeah. And I think she's got, like, a reasonable shot of having the MVP of the entire series. Because without her, you wouldn't have the Dragon Radar, and you wouldn't have Trunks.
If you like. I'm not too bothered, really.
Yeah, like, if it weren't for Bulma, you wouldn't have, like, anything... Well, you'd be stuck with the bad guy version of the universe. You'd be stuck with the Zamasu-verse.
If it weren't for Bulma, you'd have another character in the universe that acts like Bulma. Like, that's how storytelling works, I'm afraid.
Yeah, like Tights, who apparently is her older sister, apparently.
Well, isn't her mum called Pants? Or Panchu or something?
Something like that. Yeah, Panty or something, yeah.
That entire fucking family is... Like, Toriyama and his naming conventions, you gotta give him credit where credit's due. Like, he stuck to them, but boy, should he not have.
Oh, yeah. And that thing just goes, like, he doubles down for it when it comes to Dragon Quest, which you kind of got to respect the bit at that point.
I mean, sure. I'd never played Dragon Quest, so I'm really indifferent on that one. But yeah, I get you. Like, hey, you can have as much dumb bullshit as you want, as long as the dumb bullshit is consistent.
Yeah, like, when it comes to Dragon Quest, like, damn near everything's a pun. But yeah, Bulma's my number 3, and possibly my MVP of the series. Who's going to be your number 2?
My number 2 is very weirdly going to be my actual favourite character from the series, and I know that's weird considering he's not number 1.
Okay.
That's Krillin.
Yeah, alright.
I love Krillin. I think he gets a lot of undue shit, because at the end of the day, he is exactly like Goku in the sense that he has got almost limitless compassion. He's always extending those olive branches. The difference is, of course, he's not Goku, which means he can die if he fails, and he succeeds succeeds an awful lot.
Yeah, he succeeds an awful lot for someone who's not like bullshit OP. Like, he is very strong, and it's possible. Like, he goes toe to toe.
He is the strongest human. However, I understand a lot of the fan base says no, it's Tien, and to that I say, Kiko, fuck yourself.
Well, the query is Tien actually human, being as he is like a Triclops?
I mean, he's born on Earth, and we're not shown anyone. I firmly believe that Tien is just a weird fucking mutant of a human, and not some weird alien species, because we never see another one.
Yeah, and apparently all the furries on Earth in the Dragon World are just humans who did some mods to become furries for a while, and that just like died out after a generation because it stopped being popular.
Okay, sure.
Because like there was a president who was a dog, and apparently he made like a wish on the Dragon Ball to be president, but he was already like he'd already turned himself into a dog, and that's what made like furries popular. And
is any of this official, or is this just some dumb bullshit you read once and went, yeah, fine, I'm going to incorporate that in my belief system?
Both. It's
no, it can't be both. That's not the nature of the question, Rick.
It's from Daizenshu, which is like a magazine that like collaborates all of the interviews that they did with Toriyama.
Okay.
So it's from Toriyama, but it's not written in the manga.
I'm skeptical. So I'll put it that way.
Yeah. So let's be honest. It's about as canon as a J.K. Rowling tweet.
Did you know that there used to be no plumbing in Hogwarts because wizards would just shit themselves and then magic it away?
Oh, worse than that, they would disappear the evidence, not remove the evidence. So it
no,
would
that's
be
just
invisible.
no. That's just people fucking taking words literal. Like
yeah. So invisible turd.
that's not actually. It's not actually the case. It goes to that weird thing with like, if you got the magical ability to just remove excrement, why are you shitting?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not talk about J.K. Rowling and her obvious scat fetish. Let's talk about Krillin. One of my favourite things about Krillin, apart from the fact that he's just honestly like the pinnacle of a good person, is that he had such character growth, because in Dragon Ball he was a little shit.
Oh, he was, yeah. He was kind of not as strong as Goku, and that was fine. But he was up there, and he was like Goku's first actual rival, I believe.
In original Dragon Ball, there are points where you see Krillin thinking to himself, I wonder if I can accidentally push Goku off a cliff.
And back then, that probably would have worked, because it was before he got the flying Nimbus, and before he, could fly.
Oh, I think he would have probably survived. Like, he's landed, he's hit his head more than enough times that he probably would have been fine in that regard. But, yeah. And, despite all the shit Krillin went through, at the end of the day, he does win, because, fuck's sake, he gets Android 18.
Yeah. The actual true MILF of the series.
Well, here's the thing, is she never actually changes, and I don't think she's capable of changing appearance-wise because of the whole Android business. So she always looks like that, which is fine. It's a good look, but she's never going to look like a MILF, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think MILF Bulma is the actual winner, though, isn't she? Yeah.
No, Chi-Chi, I've made that very clear what my opinion is. But yeah, Krillin gets a big nod from me. I love Krillin. I adore Krillin. And also, it's very annoying that they gave him the most OP key-based ability really early on, which meant he's destined to never hit with it.
Oh, yeah. This one molecule thick disc of infinite cutting. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's not allowed to connect with it because it just instantly kills people.
Yeah, the only time it actually wins is when Frieza uses his own version of it and it kills Frieza.
Yeah, but that's just to be like, look at Frieza's hubris.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've waffled
and then
long.
Cell uses it later.
Yeah, but does that hit anything?
I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. Who's your number 2, dude?
My number 2 is Frieza. You can't have a series without its villain. Frieza wasn't really one and done. He was basically like the entire third of Dragon Ball, like the middle third of Dragon Ball in general. He's the overarching villain for all of the Saiyan sagas. He's there just sitting in his little chair, waiting for something to like not bore him enough for him to get off his ass and do it. And in that same form, that's the one that he's already blew up Planet Vegeta with.
Yeah, it's very odd with Frieza, because they make it very clear in later things. He's bullshit strong, because at that point in the story, he hadn't trained for even a day.
And his transformations are power limiters. They're there to stop him from like destroying everything that he touches, because that's not because he cares about things, but because it's inconvenient.
Yeah, but it's also not true. That's a bullshit thing Toriyama decided upon to make him look cooler, because he takes that form all the time and it doesn't do anything on its own.
Yeah, so his fourth form turns out to be his base form, essentially, which is why that's the one that transforms into Golden Frieza, and why he doesn't have like a fifth form that's different.
Is it his second form or third form where it was just like Toriyama just clearly wanted to draw a Xenomorph?
Yeah, third form, yeah. Second form is the one that looks like King Cold.
Sure.
And that it's just massive and it has the big horns.
Yeah.
And then, third form is the Xenomorph, and then fourth form, like, he gets rid of all the gribbles.
The third form was so unnecessary.
Oh, yeah. Are you bored of the third form yet? Yep.
I think, was it Piccolo who said, I was more of a fan of the second?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Frieza's fun. One of the most inconsistently spelled character names.
Oh, yes. Does he have an I? I think he has an I. Does he have two E's? I don't think he has two E's, but apparently, canonically, he does.
Yeah, so it's one of those where Team 4-Star took the piss out of it with hello, Lord Frieza, it's Frieza. Why does it have an I in it? It doesn't. It's just like, until that bit, I was like, I've only ever seen Frieza spell Frieza.
Yeah, I've seen it with the double E. I've even seen it with an ER on the end.
That one's definitely wrong.
Yeah.
It's always had an A.
Yeah, that's just a fridge.
Like, yeah, they're a bit lazy with their cold pun name. Like, King Cold might be the laziest, but,
yeah.
You know, they at least usually change it so that it looks a bit more alien.
Yeah, well, Cooler is just also, like, a fridge.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Maybe Frieza is meant to be... Like, here's the fun thing about translations, guys, especially when translating stupid pun names. They don't always translate well, and someone's gonna fuck up.
Yeah. Well, he was just called Frieza in Japan as well, which, like, it's an English word, so there's, like, an amount of mystique behind that to a degree. So it's like us using like gratuitous German when we're doing things. Like it sounds foreign enough. It sounds like weird and not uncommon, unfamiliar enough for it to have some kind of mystique.
I would say so.
But yeah, Frieza, my number 2. Show only as good as its villain, and he's a very good villain, and they knew that because they brought him back. Who's going to be your number 1?
My number 1 is Master Roshi.
Yeah! For all the reasons that I put him on the list already, and more, because he's your favourite. Well, he's not your favourite, because Krillin's your favourite, but he's your number 1.
Yeah, Master Roshi's my number 1 because he is what I idolise as a like an end goal of life, where it's just an old man. Alright, you could do with a little bit less of the perversion, but whatever. He's just an old man chilling on an island being like, yeah, I can live forever, so I'm just gonna chill here with my turtle, watch my shows.
Yeah,
like,
and now and again someone comes along that impresses you enough that you go, oh yeah, actually I'll pass on everything I know to this person and fling a light into the future.
Like, one of my favourite bits of Team 4-Star is when the androids show up at his island and they're like, can you... He just says so casually to them, can you not fight on my island? It's literally all that I own. And they're like, fine, We'll fight over there. But when we win, we're coming back. But yeah, it's just such a dumb moment. I like how early on they didn't want to lean too much into the old dirty pervert part for jokes for Roshi. So I remember very early on in Team 4-Star, the first joke I think they had with Roshi was just, here's my beer, now it's orange juice, now it's cola. But yeah, Master Roshi's cool. Weirdly enough, he is the protagonist for so many Dragon Ball Z doujins.
Oh boy, yeah.
Which I could...
Like, young Roshi is actually a pretty fun character as well.
It's not young Roshi though.
Yeah, fair enough. Because Goku goes back in time and like encounters young Roshi and young Master Shin, which is the turtle, the crane hermit guy.
Sure.
They were little shits back then as well. It's great.
Yeah, I like Roshi. Roshi's cool. And I think another part of it as well is like he's mostly just a chill old man in Dragon Ball Z. In Dragon Ball he can go, like, even taking on the Jackie Chan fucking persona. And getting really scared when Goku does a fucking Kamehameha and he's just like, I didn't fucking teach him that.
Yeah. Because, Goku can just, like... I don't think Goku's actually come up with a single original move.
I mean, it's a joke they make in fucking Team 4-Star, isn't it?
Yeah, because, like, the Kamehameha is Roshi's. Actually, no, he has. He's got the Dragon Fist, which is technically Shenron, but, like, that's his own move.
I mean, I'm just remembering the bit again where he's like, special beam cannon, and Piccolo's like, that's mine. Solar flare, Tien just looks at him menacingly. Kaio, and then in his voice, King Kai just like, don't you fucking dare!
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Goku's a fucking move thief.
I think technically modern Super Saiyan might actually be a Goku original, but that's not even a move, that's a transformation.
That's just something Saiyans can unlock, because Broly does it without trying. Up to, like, I think he gets the Super Saiyan 2, and even that they need fucking Gogeta for.
Yeah, like, Broly shows off... Broly has his, like, Berserker form, which is, like, halfway towards Super Saiyan 4. And that's kind of like an enhanced base form, and it's only after he sees the actual way that you can be a Super Saiyan that he's like, oh shit, I can do that too, and that's when he does it.
But yeah, Master Roshi's cool. I like him.
Yeah.
He's good in all series that he's in. I didn't care for GT, don't think he's in that. I haven't watched Super, but you said he's fun in that too.
Yeah, he's fun in Super. He's basically not in GT.
Good. GT was a terrible idea, and we know Toriyama knows it too, because it made him come back to do Super.
Yeah, like, yeah. There are things in GT that I like.
You shouldn't.
Not much of it, though.
Who's your number one, Rick?
My number one is Prince Vegeta. Similar to my number two, Frieza, your show is only as good as its villain. Vegeta serves this until Toriyama realizes, oh, actually, I like this guy. Let's keep him around. And from then on, he becomes a little scamp who's always there to either further the plot by doing a good guy thing because it's convenient, or further the plot by doing a bad guy thing because it's convenient.
Like, if you want to talk about Bulma Brief's achievements, like, it's got to be pussy whipping Vegeta's got to be up there, because, like, Vegeta's a cunt until the Cell games, and even in the Cell games, he's not nice.
Oh yeah. Like, he's very definitely not redeemed by that point. Although he calms down for a long time between then and Boo, and then when there's a chance for a fight at Goku, that's when he turns heel again. But then when the wish comes through to revive all the good people, he gets revived. So he's apparently had his face turned after killing a bunch of people.
I can't be stressed enough. Vegeta killed a lot of people, and most of them were just for fun.
Yeah, most of them were for fun. Like, the last time he killed a bunch of people was just to show Goku that he wasn't fucking around.
Jesus Christ, like, again, one of the biggest pieces of shit during the Namek saga.
Yeah, and like, the only reason he doesn't kill more people is because he doesn't know where the Dragon Balls are, and he bollocks Nappa for it, because Nappa just blows up a city, and he's like, yes, very good, you've shown that you can do this, however, we need to not destroy the Dragon Balls. Don't do that again, dickhead.
Yeah. Like, Vegeta's evil, but he's weirdly pragmatic during certain moments. But it doesn't matter. He's still a piece of shit.
Yeah, pragmatic is the very definite word for it. He's a pragmatic evil guy. Like, he's the kind of person that you could have in a D&D party.
Well,
like,
it's one of those where if you have a D&D evil game, like, if you have an evil character join the party, they have to be the type of evil where they're evil, but they can't be evil towards the party, otherwise it's not fun for anyone.
Yeah. Unless, like, one person is on board with it, and they're, like, actual, like, proper rivals with each other.
Well, even then the focus becomes more about those two constantly arguing rather than the group.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's just my take. Why are we talking about D&D? Talk about Vegeta.
Oh, it's because I remember someone going, oh, this Sun Soul Monk. Okay, we've got this D&D party of, we've got Gandalf, we have Frodo, and we have Vegeta. And so Vegeta is my number one. I think he's the most impactful character in terms of basing around Goku. Yes, it becomes a Goku and Vegeta black hole later on, but I think that's fine, because Goku always has a Vegeta to strive against, and Vegeta is very definitely both the underdog and the pinnacle of pride. It's a really funny concept at all times.
Yeah, he's not the pinnacle of pride. That's incorrect. Vegeta. No, neither of them are the pinnacle of pride. They're the pinnacle of arrogance. That's a very different thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, people often confuse arrogance with pride. Arrogance means you can't fucking back it up.
Sure.
At least that's always been my interpretation of arrogance.
I guess so, yeah.
You can also thank Escanor for me doing that, because he makes a point of saying, I'm not arrogant, I'm prideful. Why am I prideful? Because I'll kick your fucking ass.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's it for our top fives. Do you have a favourite one of mine?
I'm going to say Bulma, but that's mostly because of her hentai catalogue.
Yeah. Yeah, she's fun. She's very fun. And, even from the very beginning, she's legal.
She's not 18 in that first fucking page.
Oh wait, no, she's like 16 at the beginning.
Oh, she's legal in the UK, but you still shouldn't draw her.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something I'll give Dragon Ball Z tons of credit for. Like, they've got like 3 pretty decent fucking MILFs in that show.
Yeah, and none of them start out as one.
Well, Chi-Chi kind of did for me, because she was already a mother when I first saw her, but I get your point.
Yeah. There's an adult Chi-Chi that's not a MILF, and she's a fun character that's cute.
But yeah, what about you? Same question, names first.
It's Krillin. He's one that I didn't put on my list, but I kind of wish I did, because you put him on your list for some very good reasons, and he's basically the staple of the Frieza arc until Goku gets there, alongside Vegeta. Gohan is there, but like Krillin's the one doing everything.
Well, Gohan can't do fuck all at that stage. Like,
yeah, all Gohan can do is get pushed and eventually sometimes unleash Gohan mode, but other than that, he's kind of there to up the stakes and have a go in the party.
Yeah. It's easy to forget he solved the Raditz problem.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, helped save the Raditz problem. Obviously, Piccolo actually solved that problem, but yeah.
Yeah, Gohan just getting mad and headbutting Raditz. Yeah.
Now we find out Raditz is actually laughably weak.
Oh, yes. But yeah, that's it for today. If you like the episode, there is the comment section down below on YouTube and Spotify. Tell us what you think about Dragon Ball characters, your favorites, your least favorites, and other suggestions for us, what you'd like to hear from us pontificating about, and suggestions for other kinds of episodes, whether it be the reviews, the retrospectives, or even the rumbles.
Look, I've just got to stop you there very quickly, Rick. You know you make us sound like arseholes when you just pull out the word pontification.
Okay. But yes, if you don't have the comment sections, you can send the same comments to the email, which would be at
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. That's right, send us witty comments, fun comments, even criticisms. If you type something interesting and fun, or something that makes us laugh, we'll read it out on a future episode.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be a goodbye from me.
Goodbye, guys.